Welcome to Real Estate Update. I'm Allie McNair. James Wedgeworth, it's been a while. How are you?
Well, it has. I hope you had a great summer.
I did, and you?
You had a great time.
Hey, I want to ask you something. 37 years you've been in real estate here on Hilton Head Island. Businesses change. What kinds of changes have you seen?
Wow, that's an unusual question because obviously all businesses have changed. Everything's changed in 37 years. I'm glad you asked that because that is so important. It amazes me that I talk to other realtors and they say, oh, wow, I don't like the changes. But if you don't like changes, you're in the wrong business because all businesses change. My real estate coach said something on the day that made a lot of sense. He told me, he said, James, he said, if you're doing business the same way today that you were doing business 3 years ago, you will be obsolete. So things have changed tremendously, mainly the way people look at real estate, okay?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. In the old days, you used to wait until Sunday. You got the Sunday paper. You opened up the Sunday paper and said, well, see this house, this house, this house, and this
Seems
house.
like a long time ago we did it that way, doesn't it?
Flies,
Yeah, I guess so.
But that's the way, when I started in 1981, that's what people did. And if you wanted to look at a house on Wednesday, you had to wait till Sunday paper came out. You know,
or if you had a great real estate agent, they might give you a heads up in advance.
They might,
right.
Yeah. But now the way people, if you ask about changes, the first thing I would say is we live in an Amazon world. You can lay on your sofa and say, hey, send me some batteries, and they send you the batteries. So people want information immediately. Speed sometimes is more important than expertise.
At least at the beginning, I would say.
At the beginning. So as a real estate agent, you have to adjust. You have to say, what changes are we going to make? Because the purchasers, that's what, when they look at real estate, they want to know immediately. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
There have been several studies, and I know this is probably not what we're supposed to be talking about.
We'll get back to it, but it's related.
Yeah. There have been several studies that say if somebody calls off the internet or they send you an email, if you respond in the first 5 minutes, the conversion rate is like hundreds of percent more effective. But what do real estate agents do? Most real estate agents sell real estate all day. So if somebody leaves them a voicemail or an email, they come in at 6 o'clock at night and they respond, but that's been 8 hours. So I tried to say, okay, we got to figure out a way to solve that problem. We just hired what we call an inside sales agent. That is, her one job is to sit there at the office and she responds immediately.
I think that's crucial. I mean, if I were trying to get a hold of you and I saw a property on, say, and you're talking about changes, Trulia or Zillow or whatever, and I want to know, you know, what's the deal here? Can we look at it? Is it really as good as it looks? I want to be able to get the answers as fast as I do online. So you do need that person to respond.
So we got somebody that's sitting right there.
Right.
And when that lead comes in, she calls them within 10 seconds.
Perfect.
And she says, James asked me to give you a call, da-da-da. She can usually get a hold of me or David or Chip or Guy, one of the people on my team. And that's a big change that we've made because you have to be able to stay up with the time. Another thing that's changed is the ability that we have because of Facebook direct advertising. Let me give you an example.
Yep.
As you know, I got a farm out in Estill, and I said I was going to build a fence around my farm, a wood fence. This is a pretty big fence. I mean, it's, you know. So I hired this guy to build a fence, and he said we need to buy the posts, so we go to Home Depot and we buy, I don't know, maybe 700 posts or something. 2 days later, I get a call from this lady. She says, you don't know me, my name is so-and-so. We have a product that you can spray under your wood fence to keep the grass from growing. And she says, you do have a wood fence, don't you? And I'm going, wait a minute. I bought these posts 2 days ago. But obviously, they have some type of internet lead that they were able to receive that information, and I was really impressed.
Yeah. Well, it's even, you know, and I'm not really great on all of this, but if I do a search for, say, tooth whitener or something on the internet, if like cookies are active or Google say, hey, tooth whitening company, start sending her emails or there'll be a pop-up or whatever. It's a totally different world now. But I agree with you, the instant access, once that person makes a call, is equally as important because they're getting that instant access online. And if you don't answer it, they'll pick up the phone and call someone else.
They're only 1,000. There are 1,000 of us out there. Yeah. So we live in what I call the Amazon-driven world. So people want results immediately. They do expect service. Now the difference is, in the old days, we would call somebody and we'd go, Allie, I got a house over here came on the market on Whitehall Court, you know. And okay, now what happens is you call me.
I'll see it before you.
You see it for me, and you call me and say, hey, I saw this house over here on Combahee, you know. And I have to be able to tell you about the house, be able to answer all your questions in a timely, efficient manner.
That's where the local expertise, or the 37 years, not to flatter them too much, folks, but the 37 years comes in so handy, because you can say to me, hey, Allie, that's a gorgeous home, it's on a beautiful lot, and you're going to need to do a few things maybe in the bathroom, this or that, and that's great information.
So in order to be successful in the real estate business, you've got to be changing constantly. The one thing that doesn't change is your service attitude, of getting back to people, following up with them. And what doesn't change is you have to have local information. You have to say, well, that's got a really, really nice house, but I don't think you would like the location. Here's why. And you go, oh, thank you, that's why I called you.
Right.
So those things are changing, but the rest of it, wow, it is just absolutely off the chart.
Well, it's interesting because you say, some people say, oh, it's changing and I don't like it, but you know what? It's the customer that's demanding the change. So you got, as you say, if you're not keeping up, you might be in a little trouble.
You'll be in a lot of trouble.
So other than that, what other changes? I mean, we're talking about the internet, but that's still that customer care, that local expertise is important. If I'm someone new to the area, how do I find that local expertise? Is it just word of mouth? Is it, like you say, Facebook ads, or is it emails you send out?
It's mainly still word of mouth.
It is.
See, what I found is people go on the internet, they will look at all these houses, and they pick up the phone, they call somebody they know on Hilton Head. They say, we're interested in these houses. Who would you recommend as a realtor? Because they want somebody that's experienced. They want somebody who knows what they're doing. Yeah. So those things are important. Okay.
Do you see, as far as the services that is Zillow, or what are the other ones, Truly or whatever, I mean, do you see that there's room for improvement there? Do you think they're doing a bang-up job? I mean,
I think they're doing a great job because they're able to give people a lot of information in a short period of time. And we live in the information age. People want it immediately.
Do realtors or real estate agencies pay any kind of fees to get? See, I don't know anything about this, but so say you put a listing on Truly or whatever with the photos or the video. Is it expensive?
Well, it depends on how you do it. Most of those services are direct fees from MLS.
Oh, okay.
So when you list a house in MLS, it fees to Truly or Zillow or something like that. That's free. But there are all kind of upgrades you can do.
Such as, what would be an example?
It's called like Zillow Elite or Zillow Update, where you pay an extra fee to get your name up higher.
Oh, isn't that
interesting? And then
there's
pay for clicks too. Yeah. So
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Now, as far as the filters go, how do you feel about that? Because I can go on one of those and say, okay, I'm looking on Hilton Head or Bluffton, and my price range is 300 to 500, or 500 to $1 million, and then how many bedrooms, bathrooms, blah, blah. Do you think sometimes those filters may not allow a person to see other options where your local expertise?
Well, people will call us on certain houses, and I can say, well, have you considered a house over at 371? Oh, no, I didn't pull that up.
Or it didn't come up with their search filters.
And that's where the local realtors come in. They help you with that.
Do you find that happens often?
Every day.
Yeah, I bet it does. Because you can narrow those perimeters to such a degree.
It's very unusual that somebody actually buys a house that they first pulled up on Zillow and call us about.
Really?
It happens, but once in a blue moon.
Hey, now, I haven't looked lately. Real estate ads in the newspaper, are they still there? I never look for real estate here because I live here.
I think I advertise more than anybody. You know?
But even for specific properties, like in class, and do you still get, is it more like my generation and up that goes that route?
Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but
that's okay. I don't mind. But seriously, so it's the older clientele that's still utilizing that?
The newspaper, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta cover all bases. See, what most people do is only cover one base. To be successful in real estate, you got to make sure you cover all bases.
Are you finding younger buyers really are coming to you more obviously from the internet?
Yes, yes. I hate to say it's an age thing, but the younger buyer, they do it a little differently.
Sure. Yeah. And from any distance. I mean, that's the whole thing. You can see what's going on in the real estate as far as what's listed online, and never have to come down at all until you're ready to really.
Until you're ready to do. You can do a lot of research on the internet. And what that does, that shortens your time when you're buying.
It's interesting too, some of them, you can do like comparable prices in the area, right? Will it do that for you or not?
It will, but it's not very accurate.
Okay, well that's good to know. And also it's always fun to look and see what something last sold for if you're looking. Is that accurate? Like it sold back in 2000 for X amount of dollars?
Yeah, that would usually be accurate. But there's a little problem on Hilton Head. It's not as effective in Hilton Head as it is in the real world.
Okay.
Because you have lot differential. The value, like an oceanfront lot, is worth more than a second row lot.
But this is a good one for you. By how many dollars? Sorry. Say you got the same exact home. We're going to take a break in a second. Say I have a home on the ocean and 2 rows back. Can you give me any kind of...
50, if an oceanfront lot's worth $1, second row lot's worth 50 cents.
Okay. Wow. Half the price.
Yeah.
All right. Guess what? We're going to take a break. Is that okay?
Great.
All right. We will be back in just a moment with more of Real Estate Update.